Hey there, Aaron. I was just curious if you were done working for the day?
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I actually just finished work, so I guess that means I got off a bit earlier than I normally do. But what's up? Is there something you wanted to talk to me about?
Yes, actually, there is something I wanted to talk to you about. I just found out that our neighbor is going to be moving out of her house.
Oh, you mean that sweet old lady who lived next door to us? Do you know where she's going to? I wouldn't be surprised if she was moving into a retirement home or something like that.
Actually, she moved out to go and live with her son and his wife. Isn't that something? Apparently, he bought a large, family-sized home with enough room for her as well, so that's where she's off to.
Wow. Well, good for her. But a house like that probably wasn't cheap, I'd have to imagine.
Yes, but I was talking to her before she moved out. She told me that her son paid for everything. Isn't that so sweet of him?
You mean that her son bought a new house for them all? And with all his own money? That really is something, I have to admit.
Well, apparently his mom was just in need of someone to take care of her while she was at home. So it was just easier for them all to live together.
Oh, I see. So I guess that means she just must get along with her daughter-in-law then, right? Because I don't know why they would all move in together if they didn't enjoy each other's company.
Well, yes, I'd assume they all get along since they're going to live together.
Well, do you ever think about moving in with Chuck and his wife or something like that?
Oh no, I just don't think that would work out at all. If it was just Chuck, then it might work out, but I couldn't live with his wife.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something like that. I couldn't really see that going all that well myself.
Exactly. And I'm sure that if we all did live together, it would just make things worse between his wife and I. But apparently with my neighbor, it was actually her daughter-in-law who came up with the whole plan for them to live together.
Oh, really? Well, I feel like you don't hear stories like that all too often, right?
Yes, but I imagine that it must mean that her daughter-in-law is a really amazing girl.
Well, if she offered to live with her mother-in-law, there must be something going on there.
I've actually met her once. I remember she came over with her husband, and she seemed like a really lovely young woman. She was so bright and social, and I think that Chuck's wife could learn a lot from her, to be honest.
Yeah, but Lydia's just so cool, don't you think?
I think that you're mixing up cool for apathetic, and I think there's a big difference. She would never ever get over herself to the point where she would want me to live with her and Chuck. She's nothing like my neighbor's daughter-in-law.
Mom, come on. I really don't think that we should be talking about Lydia like this, don't you think?
Well, why not? We're just having a frank little chat about the members of our family. Besides, it's not like she's ever going to hear any of this in the first place. It's just so sad that your brother had to end up with a woman like her.
I don't really think that Lydia is nearly as bad as you're making her out to be right now, Mom. In fact, I don't think it's really nice of you to be talking about her like this to me, where she won't hear any of this.
But I'm just telling the truth about her. You know that I'm right, don't you?
I think that Lydia is still finding her bearing in the family, and that maybe she just isn't quite ready to let her guard down yet.
Well, I wish she would just get over herself and accept that she's a part of this family now. I mean, it's not like we're doing anything to make her feel like she isn't welcome here. I just wish that she would just put a little bit more effort in trying to get us to like her more, you know, because I really think she has an attitude problem most days.
You really think that? I never really got that impression from her at all, actually.
Well, you don't know her like I do. You know, one time she actually told me to my face that she hates me. She told me that she never wanted anything to do with me.
Hold on a second, Mom. You're telling me that Lydia really said that to you? Because she doesn't really strike me as someone who is all that confrontational.
Well, that just proves that you really don't know her like I do. She is a cruel, cruel woman. I've tried my best to get along with her, but she never ever treats me with any respect, and she's always treating me like I'm her enemy or something.
I had no idea about any of this. I guess I understand a bit better now why you really don't like her.
Well, I'm just glad that you're starting to see things my way. But honestly, what kind of wife hates her husband's family? I've just never heard of someone acting in that way, you know?
Well, I guess there are those rare cases now and then, aren't there? Maybe Lydia is just one of those kinds of people.
Oh, I know very well the kind of person that she is, and it's clear to me that she isn't interested at all in trying to be friendly with me. Honestly, most of the time I just try to leave her alone and avoid her as much as I can. Even if she doesn't see me as family, I just don't care at this point.
Well, I'm really, really sorry that you feel that way about her, Mom. But I guess there's no point in trying to force a friendship where you just can't see it working at all.
Well, I'm not trying to force anything. The fact of the matter is that she has never once been friendly to me at all. And I'm sure that if I even tried to say anything about this to her, that she would hate me even more. You'd be best off avoiding her, too.
Yeah, sure thing, Mom. I mean, if what you told me here is really true, that maybe you are right about that after all. Hey there, Mom. I just wanted to double check that the reservations that you made were for 1 this afternoon, right? Because I arrived just a little early, but only so that I could do some shopping near the restaurant.
Got it. And just please try not to be late for our reservation, okay? I mean, everyone is going to be there, and it wouldn't look good if you weren't there on time.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be sure and try to get there a little early so there's nothing to worry about. Besides, I wouldn't want to be late anyways. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody.
I know! I can't even remember the last time that we were able to arrange a family reunion this big. I'm also really looking forward to getting to see everyone there. It's been far too long.
I know what you mean. It'll be nice getting to have a really big family meal.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. It's going to be so fun with everyone there.
So then, nobody has called saying that they aren't going to be able to make it or anything like that? It would really stink if anyone had to miss this.
Oh yes, thank you for asking me actually. Lydia is not going to be there today.
Wait, what? She isn't? But I thought that you said everyone was going to be there.
Oh yes, I told her that everyone was going to be there and that she should do her best to show up as well. But she was just her usual cold, frigid self. She told me that she didn't care who was going to be there. She wasn't going to go.
Oh, come on now. That is just ridiculous. She really can't even bother to show up at a family reunion like this? I had no idea that she disliked us all that much. I just don't even know what to say to that.
I know. I really did hope that she would swallow her pride and join us, but she clearly had other plans. I think I may just stop trying to invite her out from now on. I mean, what's the point if she's always going to say no? I would think that as her mother-in-law, she would have at least a little bit of deference to me, but I guess I should just quit holding out hope for her.
I guess that might actually be best, huh? I mean, the way you make it sound, I just can't see this getting any better at all.
I really am sick of her attitude. I really can't understand why your brother ended up with a woman like her. Do you think she just took advantage of him and pushed him into this? We know how much of a pushover your brother can be.
Well, yeah, he can be that way at times, but I really don't think it was that.
Well then, I guess he must only be attracted to her for her looks then.
I really don't know about that. I mean, it isn't like Chuck hasn't dated really pretty people in the past. Besides, compared to some of his exes, Lydia isn't, strictly speaking, the most attractive of them all.
But now they're married, and that's the problem. I really just wish that the two of them would get a divorce and end it all already.
Mom, come on now. You can't be like that. I really don't like when you talk about Lydia like this. I get that you don't like her at all, but I just don't think that we need to be saying these kinds of things to each other about her.
But aren't you worried at all? I mean, this is your brother's wife, for crying out loud.
Yes, I realize that, Mom. I just wonder if she has a reason for why she seems to dislike us so much. Good morning, Lydia. I heard this from my mom, but I just wanted to confirm that it was true. Are you really not going to be coming to the family reunion today? Hello, Erin. Yes, I'm afraid it's true. I'm not going to make it to that. I'm going to stay home instead. But if you're just going to be home all day, then you should definitely come and join us. I mean, it really is rare that we get so much family in one setting, you know? And we made reservations at a really nice place. I understand, but I'm afraid that I just can't go. After all, that's a reunion for your family. But that's exactly why I'm inviting you. Look, Lydia, I understand that for some reason you really dislike my family, but I think that if you gave us a shot, you'd see that we're not all so bad. We would all love to have you there with us. Do you mean it? You mean it's really okay if I go there with you all? Of course it's okay. You know that you don't need to hold back or try to be reserved when it comes to my family, right? I know, but it's just that, well, I know how much your mom hates me. She tells me all the time. And tell me, was my mom the one who told you that you shouldn't come in the first place? Yes, she was actually. Because that isn't what I heard. My mom told me that she was the one that invited you, but that you turned her down. But that isn't what happened. If she invited me, I would have loved to go. But instead, she reached out to tell me that this was happening, and then said that I better not be there. And does my brother Chuck know about all of this that's going on between you and our mom? No. I told Chuck that I was feeling really sick, and that I wouldn't be able to make it. Your mom told me that I shouldn't tell him the truth. And then, she even told me that you didn't want me there either. She said that about me? Really? But I never said anything like that to her at all. I mean, I'm the one that's reaching out to invite you right now. I know, but anytime I talk to your mom, she always tells me about how much you hate me. And she always going on about how you just wish that Chuck and I would break up already. But I've never said any of those things, ever. I swear. I mean, I've never even thought about those things. You have to believe me. You mean it? Because I thought that Chuck's whole family hated me. That's what I'm always hearing from your mom anyways. Well, I have no idea why on earth my mom is telling you those sorts of things. And I don't think that anyone in my family hates you, Lydia. In fact, I've always wanted to try and get to know you better. Really? Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say to that. This is such a relief to hear. Ever since I married Chuck, I've been so nervous to screw things up with your family. I was sure that nobody likes me. Lydia, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you were so nervous about this. Well, it's true. I had no idea why you all disliked me, and it just made me so anxious. Well, I am sure that no one in my family hates you. But did my mom really tell you that they do? She did, yeah. Although, I think she was just trying to get your brother and I to divorce each other. But then, I thought that if I did that your brother hate me, and so I just couldn't leave him. I understand, and I am so sorry that my mom has been putting you through all of this. But it seems to me that this was all just one big mistake. Or rather, one big plot all orchestrated by my mom. Anytime I mentioned wanting to get to know you better, she was already with something negative to say about you. But I really tried my best to keep your mom happy and do whatever she says. I'm sure that you do, Lydia. I thought this whole thing was strange from the start, you know. I knew that you weren't the kind of person my mom was saying that you were. I think if anything, I just don't have the guts to stand up to someone like your mom. I think that's why she knows that she can get away with treating me like this. Well, you can just leave my mom to me. I'm going to set all of this straight. What do you mean? What are you going to do? I mean that I want you to know that you can come to this family reunion with nothing to worry about. Hey, Mom. I just wanted to let you know there's been a change of plans. Lydia's going to come to the family reunion, but you're not.
Excuse me, just what in the world are you talking about? Where is this coming from all of a sudden?
It's coming from the fact that you lied to me, Mom. You told Lydia not to come to the reunion, didn't you?
Of course I didn't say anything like that to her. She told me she would rather die than come.
That isn't true, Mom. I know that you've been bullying Lydia and telling her to keep the truth from Chuck. You even told her that the rest of the family hated her to try and scare her off.
You don't understand. She really is a horrible person. I had to do something to get rid of her.
The only horrible person here is you, Mom. And the only person in our entire family who has this much hate for her is you as well.
But I mean, please, don't you get how bad she is for Chuck? Besides, she's a complete basket case. I can't introduce her to anyone without being completely embarrassed by her.
You're the embarrassment, Mom. I can't believe that you would do something like this.
How can you say that to your own mother? What is the matter with you?
I mean that you've been acting like a child, spreading rumors, speaking for people when you've got no right. You've just been horrible.
And that's why I'm not allowed to be at the family reunion? That's just ridiculous.
If you come, I am going to haul you out of the restaurant myself, Mom. I am dead serious about that. In fact, everyone would be just fine if I did that.
What are you talking about? You really think that our entire family would choose Lydia over me?
We just wouldn't be able to enjoy ourselves with you around. But you can take that time to think about what you've done instead. And we're done. Everyone just said goodbye to each other in front of the restaurant.
You have got some nerve treating your own mother like this. Although I doubt the evening could have gone that well without me there, I'm sure everyone was talking about how they wished that I was there.
No, actually, I think we all realized we were free to really enjoy ourselves without you around. And everyone was a huge fan of Lydia.
No, that can't be. That's impossible.
But it is true. Everyone was so happy that you weren't there and that Lydia was. So I guess the only person who hates Lydia really is just you, Mom.
But that can't be. Why can't they all see what I see? This isn't fair. You've tricked them all into liking this horrible woman.
Oh, Mom, can you just give it a rest already? Don't you realize that it's over? You're not going to convince anyone.
I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm just telling the truth. I just want everyone but Lydia to be happy.
Well, I think that right there is exactly the problem, Mom. This isn't the first time that you spread rumors about people, and the whole family knows about what a gossip you are. You're always trying to talk about someone else to some relative when you don't think the person you're talking about is listening.
I never ever do anything like that. What are you talking about?
Of course you do, Mom. That's why you make everyone so nervous when we're able to have these kinds of reunions. Nobody wants to say anything that will make its way to you and then get twisted around into some horrible exaggeration. That's why everyone liked Lydia, because she's so sincere.
But what about Chuck? Surely Chuck had to be bothered by my not being there, right?
No, actually. Chuck seemed the happiest of all that you weren't there. In fact, he had no idea that you were treating his wife so horribly, but now he does. And when he found out, man, did he get mad. He said that he was going to cut you off and never talk to you again.
But I wasn't doing any kind of bullying at all.
Well then, what do you call the way that you were treating Lydia?
I was just trying to train her into being a good daughter-in-law, that's all. Someone needed to teach her some manners.
Oh, I think the only person who needs a lesson in manners around here is you, Mom. You knew that you could just manipulate her into doing whatever you wanted because she wasn't strong enough to stand up for herself.
I don't get it. Why don't you believe what I'm trying to tell you? Why are you letting her trick you like this?
Because I heard all about what you've been doing to her from Lydia herself. And I don't care what you call it. It sounds like mental abuse to me.
I don't believe this. How is everyone turning against me for this stupid nobody? You're really going to choose Lydia over me?
That's right. Everyone is. Nobody is on your side, do you understand? Don't ever show up at another family reunion again.
No, you can't do this to me. You can't just kick me out of the family like this. I'm not going to let that horrible girl take my place.
Mom, you have no idea what's going on here. Nobody is taking your place in the family. Nobody is on your side because of the terrible things that you've done, and that's it. This has nothing to do with Lydia, besides the fact that you were treating her so awfully.
So you're telling me that I deserve all of this then?
I mean, yeah, basically. Don't you even realize just how much you've disappointed Chuck and I? Neither of us want anything to do with you ever again, but only because of the things that you had done to Lydia. This has nothing to do with anything that Lydia has done, and it has everything to do with you.
Please, you can't do this to me. Don't leave me all by myself. What am I supposed to do when I get older, huh? What am I supposed to do if my own children don't even want to take care of me?
I don't care, Mom. Whatever you do is up to you, and you'll have to figure it out for yourself.
But, I mean, please, I understand what I did was wrong, okay? Please, tell Lydia that I'm sorry for everything and that I realize I should never have treated her that way and that it will never happen again.
Oh, please, Mom. Do you really think that anyone is going to buy that? You really need to try and take a more objective look at yourself. That's the only way that you're going to understand why everyone is so upset with you. But I doubt you even really understand what's going on.
Of course I do. This is happening because I was being mean to Lydia, right?
There you go. You really don't. Yes, it's about what you were doing to Lydia. But it is also about the fact that you used me and the family to try and make Lydia feel unwelcome. You told her that we all hated her, and that's why she felt so left out from the family. You prevented her from connecting to anyone and were her only source of information about us.
But, I mean, you're really not going to forgive me at all?
Of course I'm not going to forgive you. Nobody is. You've taken things way too far, and I just can't stand to even think about you any longer.
Please, Erin, it doesn't have to be like this.
And just how is it going to be if I do forgive you? Are you going to beg Lydia for forgiveness too?
If I do that and she says she will, then will that fix everything? Can I go to family reunions again?
There you go. You admit that you'd only apologize to Lydia if it meant that you got something out of it too. And that is precisely why no one is going to ever forgive you for this. Don't ever mess with my real family again. After that, my mom tried her best to reach out to Lydia and apologize to her. But Chuck and Lydia refused to accept her apology. After that, Mom was never invited to another family reunion again. Apparently, Mom tried to get up to her old tricks by talking to relatives one-on-one about how unfair she was being treated. But they all agreed that that was happening was her fault, and nobody took her side. In the end, she was ignored by everyone. I haven't heard from her ever since I blocked her and everything, and I plan to keep it that way. As for Lydia, with my mom out of the picture, she was able to come much more out of her shell. She attended every single family reunion after that, and became a huge hit at every single one. We all agreed that it was much nicer to have Lydia around than my mom. I just hope that now Lydia knows she has people who are willing to stick up for her and whom she can trust. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.